Hello, welcome to the 2011 through 2012 NFL regular season schedule Week 5 picks. For those of you that are wondering why I was not able to upload any Week 4 picks is because my regular Polaroid T1035 camera was having some technical difficulties. Unfortunately, my Polaroid camera is not working properly. It's a long story, yes, but anyway, I'm using a different camera from a family member as of right now. So anyway, we'll start off with Philadelphia at Buffalo at 12 o'clock Central Time on Fox. Protection for quarterback Michael Vick has been spotty through the first 4 games, and now the Eagles are likely forced to start King Dunlap in place of injured left tackle Jason Peters. Andy Reid's huge gamble to move Castillo from offensive line to defensive coordinator is looking like an enormous bust so far. The critics should be in for a field day as the back 7 faces maybe its most daunting challenge yet. Gailey has a creative offensive-minded approach and has taken a group of relative unknowns by creating a force to be reckoned with through spreading the field and looking for mismatches to exploit. Overall, the Eagles have injury concerns in the trenches and poor linebacker play is a major concern. Bills 30, Eagles 27. At 12 o'clock Central Time on CBS, it's Kansas City at Indianapolis. Both of these teams made the playoffs last year, and both are unlikely to return. The Colts are reeling from a number of injuries on both sides of the ball. Will start Curtis Painter in place of the injured Kerry Collins, who was acquired to replace the injured Peyton Manning. The Chiefs have also been ravaged by injuries, losing their best defensive player and safety Eric Berry and their best offensive player running back Jamal Charles. This game will go a long way towards deciding who will be first in line for Stanford quarterback Andrew Luck's services come April. Painter was okay in his debut last week, completing 13 of 30 passes for 281 yards and 2 touchdowns in a loss to the Buccaneers. But Chiefs running back Thomas Jones has done nothing to prove that he could rush for another 1,000 yards this season. Colts 36, Chiefs 29. At 12 o'clock Central Time on Fox, it's Arizona at Minnesota. The leash on Vikings quarterback Donovan McNabb continues to get shorter, but he has an excellent opportunity to win back some support against the Cardinals secondary that has been repeatedly beat over the top this season. Look for the Vikings to move wide receiver Percy Harvin around, seeking the best mismatches. They did get back to feeding the ball to running back Adrian Peterson more consistently at Kansas City, but the Cardinals allow just 3.6 yards per carry and will try to dare Kolb to beat them downfield. If the Vikings can put together 4 quarters of solid football, McNabb stands an excellent chance of putting points on the board consistently, working against Arizona's suspect secondary. Vikings 23, Cardinals 21. At 12 o'clock Central Time on Fox, it's Seattle at the New York Giants. In his debut 1 month after right knee surgery, Umenyiora recorded 2 sacks and forced a fumble on the Giants' 31-27 win over Arizona. Pierre-Paul has 4.5 sacks in 4 starts as a fill-in for Umenyiora or the injured Justin Tuck. Okun, in his second season after being selected number 6 overall, faces a tough challenge in either starter. Sunday doesn't look promising for Seattle quarterback Tarvaris Jackson, who has already been sacked 14 times this season. Giants 20, Seahawks 10. At 12 o'clock Central Time on CBS, it's Tennessee at Pittsburgh. Quarterback Ben Roethlisberger has been taking a weekly beating due to poor offensive line play, and now has a foot injury, while running back Rashard Mendenhall's slow start 3.0 yards per carry won't be helped by a hamstring injury. Johnson found his stride with a 101-yard effort at Cleveland. But every time the Steelers are counted out, they seem to rise from the ashes to show they still have plenty of kick. As long as the run defense rebounds from a poor game in Houston, the Steelers edge out a very needed victory at home. Steelers 24, Titans 23. At 12 o'clock Central Time on Fox, it's New Orleans at Carolina. Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints have had little trouble piling up yards, points, and victories. The Carolina Panthers have been almost as efficient at moving the ball down the field behind rookie Cam Newton, but costly mistakes have subsequently resulted in fewer scores and, of course, fewer wins. In a matchup between two potent offenses from the NFC South, Breeze looks to lead the Saints to a fourth straight victory Sunday against Cam Newton and the Panthers, who are coming off another disappointing defeat. New Orleans is second in the league in offense, averaging 471.5 yards, while Carolina is third with an average of 451.8. The Saints, who swept the season series from the Panthers last year for the first time since 2001, are also near the top of the NFL in scoring, ranking 5th with an average of 31.8 points. The Panthers, however, are well off that pace at 17th with an average of 22.3 points. Carolina's offensive shortcomings were on full display in last Sunday's 34-29 loss to Chicago. Although the Panthers had a season high in points, miscues prevented them from getting more. While Carolina amassed a franchise record 543 yards, Newton had an interception return for a touchdown, and Olindo Mari missed one field goal and had another blocked. The Panthers also failed to come up with critical first downs, converting just 2 of 12 third down pass attempts. They were converting 32.7% of the third downs, ranking 22nd. The Panthers had similar problems in their first two losses, squandering second-half leads over Arizona in their opener and over Green Bay in Week 2. Breeze is eager to get New Orleans second in the NFL in third down conversions at 55.2%, again firing on all cylinders. Saints 31, Panthers 13. At 12 o'clock Central Time on CBS, it's Cincinnati at Jacksonville. The dynamic Bengals rookie wide receiver is making a name for himself, as he's fast enough to smoke man coverage and athletic enough to go up and over smaller cornerbacks. The Jaguars won't be able to take Green out of the game because the Bengals are not short on playmakers. At some point, the Jaguars will need to find success running the football. Wide receivers are simply not good enough to beat one-on-one coverage, and if Jacksonville can't run, their odds of scoring more than 10 points become very slim. Bengals 45, Jaguars 24. At 12 o'clock Central Time on CBS, it's Oakland at Houston. This week's challenge may be more emotional following the passing of the 82-year-old Al Davis on Saturday at his home in Oakland. The NFL's most original owner, Davis installed a unique culture in the Raiders, the just win baby mantra that Jackson appears to have channeled in early in his tenure. Houston is 3-1, tied with Tennessee for the AFC South lead, and they may be facing their biggest challenge yet, winning without star wide receiver Andre Johnson. Johnson injured his right hamstring in last week's 17-10 win over defending AFC champion Pittsburgh. He had a minor procedure done Wednesday, and head coach Gary Kubiak said Johnson will miss a period of time. Luckily for the Texans, they'll be facing the Raiders' 29th ranked defense, which allows 409.8 yards and 28.3 points per game. Arian Foster, who rushed for 133 yards and a touchdown in a 31-24 win over Oakland on October 3, 2010, seems fully recovered from a hamstring injury after carrying 30 times for 155 yards and a score last week. Texans 23, Raiders 17. At 3:05 Central Time on Fox, it's Tampa Bay at San Francisco. Quarterback play will make the difference as two of the league's top run defenses face off in a meeting of 3-1 teams. Buccaneers quarterback Josh Freeman couldn't get much going on Monday night against the winless Colts, needing a 127-yard day from running back LeGarrette Blount to take their only lead in the fourth quarter. Quarterback Alex Smith and the 49ers can start 4-1 for the first time since 2002, when they last won the NFC West. Smith has a promising matchup against the defense, which allowed 281 yards and 2 touchdowns to Colts quarterback Curtis Painter in his first ever start. When these two teams met last year, Blount had arguably the worst start of his season, 82 yards and 3.2 yards per carry, and Willis had the best of his 13 tackles and 2 sacks. With a more even matchup brewing, the fight inside the tackles between Blount and Willis can make the difference. 49ers 14, Buccaneers 13. At 3:15 Central Time on CBS, it's the Jets at the Patriots. Injuries are a mounting concern for New York, which they learned this week that linebacker Brian Thomas is out for the rest of the year with an Achilles tendon tear. New York must replace its presence with reserves Josh Mwaga, Westerman, and Mabin. In a similar situation, the Jets came off a week-long loss to the Ravens before turning things around with a 14-point win over New England. Problem is, the bleeding appears far worse a season later, making a dramatic turnaround that much more unlikely. Expect a fired-up Belichick to be more than happy to shovel additional dirt on New York's quickly fading Super Bowl hopes. Patriots 28, Jets 20. This will be part 1. My batteries are dying. Stay tuned for part 2.